Welcome to the deep dive. You know that feeling, right? That little hum of unease when you're online, wondering who's watching, what data's getting collected.
Yeah, definitely.
And for lots of us, I think a VPN feels like this digital superhero, a shield, you know?
Right, promises anonymity.
Exactly. But what if that shield is, well, more like a pair of really cool sunglasses?
Sunglasses? How do you mean?
Makes you feel secure, looks the part, but doesn't actually stop much, really.
Ah, okay, I get it.
So today, we're diving into an article called, Oh, You Love Your VPN. Think again.
Catchy title,
Isn't it? Our mission for this deep dive is to cut through the marketing hype, get right to the surprising realities of VPNs and online privacy. We'll pull out the crucial bits, the nuggets of knowledge from this source to help you become genuinely well-informed.
Sounds good.
And just to set the scene a bit, the article draws some fascinating parallels, kind of a cyberpunk future vibe. The Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh, interesting. Johnny Mnemonic. That 2080 vision, it definitely brings that world to mind, doesn't it? Where data is everything. And trust. Well, trust is a real luxury.
Yeah.
Our source kicks off with this really striking image. It says, "Welcome to 2080, where corporations run the world, information is currency, and everyone thinks their cheap VPN is keeping them safe. How adorably naive."
Ouch. Adorably naive.
Yeah, it just immediately punctures that comfortable assumption, you know, the one many of us have. What's fascinating, really, is how effectively this idea of complete digital privacy has been sold. Like, it's just an easy button you press.
Right. One click and you're invisible.
Exactly. And it highlights this core idea, much like Johnny's neural data in the film. It's critical, it's sought after. Our browsing history, our online clicks and searches, that stuff is far, far more valuable than we often realize. In this digital world, your data is basically a gold mine.
That's a pretty chilling way to think about our digital future. And what's really unsettling is how the article then lays out the stark difference between what VPN companies promise.
The sales pitch.
Right, the sales pitch versus what they actually deliver. We've all seen those ads, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. Unhackable. Total anonymity.
They shout it from the rooftops.
Yeah.
But then DNA, they ask for your credit card details. That always makes me pause, you know?
Yeah, a little bit of a disconnect there.
The article makes it really clear. Your VPN provider is often just another mega corporation. And they can see everything you do online when you're connected through them.
So it's not necessarily an upgrade in privacy?
No, it's more like a shift. You're shifting your trust from one big company like your ISP to another one.
Often one you know even less about.
Precisely. And that Johnny Mnemonic parallel hits home here, doesn't it? In his world, the megacorp Pharmacom, they wouldn't bother chasing him down alleys for his data.
No, why would they?
They just buy the company handling his data. His service provider. Poof. Data acquired.
Simple transaction shows the power these corporations could have, or maybe already do have. And that brings up a really important question then. Why are we so quick to trust these new VPN providers? Sometimes they're totally unfamiliar, maybe even more than the ISPs we already say we distrust.
It is strange, isn't it?
The article quotes it perfectly. It's like, hey, I don't trust my ISP with my data, so I'll give it all to this random company I found from a podcast ad. You apparently...
Guilty. I have to admit, I've probably been that you before. You see an ad, it looks like a great deal.
We all have, probably. It's easy to do.
But if I'm only paying, what, $5 a month? What's really happening behind the scenes? How are they making money?
Precisely. And this connects directly to that broader principle. Analysts from Microsoft Azure and Fortinet pointed it out. If it's free or cheap, you are the product.
I've heard that before.
It's not just a saying, it's often the literal business model. For that $5 a month you think you're paying for privacy, it's highly likely someone else is paying way more, maybe $50, for your browsing habits, your personal data.
$50?
Yeah.
For my data?
Could be. That's often how these services keep the lights on. They turn your supposed privacy into, well, a profitable commodity.
Wow.
Your browsing patterns aren't just seen, incidentally. They're actively profiled, bundled up, and sold off.
So it's not just like, okay, they see my data to provide the service. They're actively packaging and selling my online life.
That's the implication, yes. It feels much more insidious than just seeing a few targeted ads, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It shifts everything. It's not about serving me, the user.
It's about harvesting your data. They're not just seeing it. They're profiling, bundling, selling it, often to third parties for purposes you definitely didn't agree to.
Okay, that's genuinely disturbing. But, talking about marketing versus reality is one thing. What happens when that illusion, that feeling of security, just completely shatters in the real world?
Yeah, the theory is one thing, the practice is another.
And the article highlights some really alarming real-world incidents.
Uh-huh.
Stuff that brutally exposes these vulnerabilities,
Mhm.
shows how flimsy that privacy shield can actually be.
Okay, like what?
We'll take the UFO VPN crash in 2023. This was a Hong Kong-based VPN. Explicitly promised privacy, no logs, all that.
Yeah.
Leaked 20 million user logs. Staggering amount.
20 million, so much for private browsing.
Exactly. Everything you thought was secure, suddenly out there. Then there's the Ivanti invasion in 2024. This wasn't just a consumer VPN, mind you. This was enterprise level. Hacked. Gave the attackers remote admin access.
Whoa.
The article describes it like giving hackers the keys to your brain. Scary stuff.
Keys to the kingdom, basically.
And it gets even sneakier. There was a malware special mentioned. Found China-linked malware embedded directly in a Korean VPN installer.
Seriously. In the installer itself.
Yep, like signing up for privacy and getting spyware bundled right in. Would you like spyware with that privacy, sir?
Unbelievable.
It makes you think, right?
Yeah. Even Johnny Mnemonic, with his, fancy neural implant, he still had a password. These supposedly secure systems were breached with, frankly, disturbing ease. That really does hammer home the gap between the promise and the actual reality. And if we connect this back to the bigger picture, maybe the biggest illusion of all is that whole free VPN trap.
The free ones. Always tempting.
Always. But research from ICSI, which the article cites, it paints a pretty sobering picture. Get this. 72% of free VPN apps contain third-party trackers or even malware.
72%.
Yeah.
Wow.
And as the source dryly puts it, it's not a bug, it's a feature.
A feature nobody signed up for. It really flips that idea of free on its head, doesn't it? It's like, pay with your privacy instead.
Exactly.
But I can hear people thinking, okay, so it's not perfect, but surely some protection is better than nothing, right? Is there really zero benefit to a free VPN, maybe just for casual stuff?
That's a fair question, and it's precisely why these services are so tempting. They offer something seemingly for nothing. But the article is pretty clear. The hidden costs, the trackers, the potential malware, the definite data selling, they often vastly outweigh any tiny perceived benefit you might get. Plus, it states that basically 100% of your data is being sold to keep those free services running.
100%.
It is the business model. There's no other way, usually. This just crystallizes that hard truth, real privacy. It's a premium. It costs money to do right. And free almost always means you are the product, not the customer.
So bottom line from the source on free VPNs.
0% real security. In Johnny Mnemonic's dystopia, they wouldn't even need to chase him. They'd just offer free neural bandwidth.
And skim his memories directly.
Yeah.
Got it. Creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, so lesson learned. Free VPNs are a definite red flag. Avoid. But even if I'm paying for one, right, you'd assume, okay, baseline, my IP address is completely hidden, like a digital cloak of invisibility.
That's the core promise, isn't it?
Yeah. Yet the article reveals that your fancy paid-for VPN can have more leaks than the Yakuza's information network after Johnny Mnemonic wreaks havoc.
Uh-huh. Nice analogy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not as airtight as you might imagine, or as they advertise.
So how does that happen? How can it leak? Well, the article points out specific ways these tools can actually betray your true identity. You've got things like DNS leaks.
Okay, what's that?
That's where your computer, even with the VPN on, might still accidentally ask your regular internet provider for website addresses, which gives away your rough location. Sneaky.
Right, bypasses the tunnel.
Then there's WebRTC. It's a feature in most browsers for things like video chat. But it can, surprisingly, expose your actual IP address, completely sidestepping the VPN.
Even if the VPN is active.
Even if it's active, and sometimes it's simpler. Just poorly configured VPN apps that crash silently in the background.
Oh, so you think you're protected, but you're not.
Exactly. You're left totally exposed, and you wouldn't even know it. The article also mentioned the kill switch feature. Supposed to cut your internet if the VPN drops, right?
Yeah?
To prevent exposure.
Yeah, that sounds essential.
But it notes this feature is often unreliable, calling it as reliable as the neural suppressors in Jesse's head, which, if you remember the movie, wasn't very reliable at all.
Not exactly reassuring, especially if you're handling sensitive data, like Johnny's 80 gigs or 320 gigs in the story. Massive payload.
Terrifying thought if that leaks.
And this technical vulnerability, these leaks and potential failures, they feed directly into a much larger, perhaps more pervasive problem,
cheers.
a false sense of security. The article uses that perfect analogy again. VPNs are the sunglasses of cybersecurity.
Right, the sunglasses. Looks cool, feels secure.
Exactly. They make you feel cool, anonymous, secure, like you're blending into the digital crowd. But they provide minimal actual protection against the wide range of threats you really face online.
So I'm walking around feeling like Neo in my digital sunglasses,
Yeah.
thinking I'm invisible. But meanwhile, I'm still totally vulnerable to, what, phishing attacks, malware, all the usual suspects.
Yeah. Precisely. While you're feeling safe behind the VPN, you're often still wide open to really common and dangerous stuff. Phishing scams trying to steal your passwords, insidious malware infecting your device, relentless tracking cookies following you everywhere you go online, corporate surveillance from other angles.
So the VPN isn't stopping any of that.
Generally, no, that's not its primary function. The source points out the irony, saying the main guaranteed benefit often just seems to be, at least you can watch geo-restricted content while getting hacked.
Huh. Okay, that's a bit cynical, but I see the point. It makes you question priorities, doesn't it?
It really does. And think back to Johnny Mnemonic. He didn't just blindly trust his brain implants security, did he?
No way. He was paranoid.
Rightly so. So the article asks, why would you place absolute trust in a, say, $3.99 a month VPN service with your most valuable digital self?
That's a really powerful point. So, okay, knowing all this, does it mean all VPNs are just bad? Should we give up? Just accept we have no online privacy?
No, not exactly. It's not quite that bleak. The article makes a really crucial distinction here, one that you really need to understand, because it highlights where VPNs are actually useful and effective versus where the consumer ones often fall short.
Okay, what's the distinction? It's between corporate VPNs and personal VPNs. Think about the VPN you might use to log into your work network from home.
Right, the company one.
That's a corporate VPN, typically managed by actual IT security professionals within the company. Its job is to protect valuable company assets and data. There's real accountability there, oversight, proper security protocols.
Makes sense. High stakes.
Then you have personal VPNs. These are the consumer services we've mostly been talking about, the ones advertised everywhere. They're managed by, well, who really knows sometimes, protected mainly by marketing promises and privacy policies.
Policies that can change.
Exactly. The article describes them as potentially about as trustworthy as the street preacher from Johnny Mnemonic's world. Lots of talk, but maybe not much substance you can rely on. It's just a very different level of security and trust involved.
Okay. So, given that landscape, that difference, the article isn't saying just give up entirely, right?
No.
It's more about being incredibly discerning, much more careful about your digital security overall, which naturally raises the big question. How do you actually protect yourself effectively in this messy environment?
Yeah, what's the practical advice?
The advice provided is pretty clear and actionable, thankfully. First, choose wisely. If you decide you really need a personal VPN for a specific reason, look for providers with transparent ownership. You should know who runs the company.
Okay. No mystery meat VPNs.
Right. Demand audited no-log policies. That means an independent third party has actually verified they don't keep records of what you do online. Don't just take their word for it.
Audited. Got it.
And make sure they use strong encryption. AES 256 is the standard you want to see. It's a very robust way to scramble your data.
AES 256. Check.
And maybe be a little suspicious if a service is advertised on literally every YouTube video. Their marketing budget might be way bigger than their security budget. Just saying.
Good point. So basically, do your homework. Look past the flashy ads. Makes sense.
Exactly. Second piece of advice. Pay for it. Avoid those free or suspiciously cheap VPNs we talked about. Remember that 2080 perspective. Privacy is becoming a luxury. It's priced accordingly. If you genuinely value your data, you should probably be prepared to invest something in protecting it.
Right. You get what you pay for, maybe.
Often, yes. And finally, layer up. This is crucial. A VPN cannot be your only defense. It's not a magic bullet.
Okay, layer up how?
Use multi-factor authentication, MFA, everywhere you can, on all your important accounts. That's like having your password plus maybe a code from your phone, an extra lock.
Definitely do that.
And if your chosen VPN does have a kill switch, test it. Make sure it's reliable and actually works when the connection drops. Remember, Johnny Mnemonic didn't rely on just one security measure, did he? He had backups, contingencies. You should too.
That's such a critical takeaway, isn't it?
Yeah.
A VPN is just one tool, one part of your digital security toolkit, not the whole strategy. It's like having a great lock on your front door, but then leaving all your windows wide open downstairs.
Perfect analogy.
Even Johnny needed more than just his implant to survive. He needed his wits allies,
Right.
probably a fair bit of luck, too.
Absolutely. And if we try to connect all this to the really big picture, the ultimate lesson here isn't just don't blindly trust VPNs. It's more profound. It's about taking personal responsibility in a world where information, our information, is increasingly the most valuable currency there is.
Personal responsibility.
Yeah. The article puts it very succinctly. The most valuable data you have isn't what you store, it's what you are.
Wow. It's what you are, meaning...
Meaning your online identity, your habits, your preferences, your digital footprint, that unique combination that makes up your digital self, that's the real gold everyone's after.
Okay.
So the core message really is that you alone are ultimately responsible for protecting that digital self. There isn't a single one-click fix, no magic app that will save you from all the complexities of online privacy and security.
It requires more effort.
It requires constant vigilance, awareness, and definitely a layered approach. Not putting all your eggs in one basket, especially not the VPN basket.
It reminds me of that line from Johnny Mnemonic himself.
Yeah.
He says, I can carry nearly 80 gigs of data in my head. Just don't ask me to remember your birthday.
Huh.
That really makes you think, doesn't it? In this world where our digital selves, our data is becoming so incredibly valuable, what's one small concrete step you listening can take today, right now, to better protect it? Something beyond just relying on maybe turning on a VPN. Maybe it's turning on MFA somewhere important. Maybe it's reviewing app permissions. Just something. Think about that.